LAPD Chief Charlie Beck will go before the Police Commission this morning to urge commissioners to keep the controversial red light program going. KTLA's Eric Spillman joins us live from Boyle Heights with more on this. Eric, good morning.
Morning from the corner of Soto and Olympic, one of 32 intersections in Los Angeles that have those dreaded things, the red light cameras, the cameras that every driver fears. Many of us would love to see them go away, but LAPD Chief Charlie Beck says we need red light cameras. At today's police commission meeting, the chief will argue that they reduce accidents and save lives. He says from 2004 to 2009, red light traffic collisions in LA declined by 63%. He says the cameras serve as a high visibility public awareness program. They encourage drivers to obey the laws, and he's going to recommend that the program be continued. However, in LA, the cameras are actually losing money. A city controller's audit has found that 45% of the photo enforcement tickets are unpaid, and that the city has lost $2.5 million on the program over the past 2 years. Add to that the fact that a lot of drivers cannot stand these cameras. Think they actually do anything to prevent accidents?
Not really, because anybody that wants to run a red light is going to do it regardless. Oh, I got to go.
Mostly they cause accidents.
How so?
Because you see the red light and you know you're going to get a ticket, so you go faster.
Or slam on your brakes.
Slam on your brakes, yeah.
You never gotten one of those tickets in the mail?
Actually, no, never. Thank God.
Yeah, really, it's $500.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Well, then I'm very lucky.
Interesting fact about red light camera tickets, 2/3 of the people who get them don't get them for blowing through intersections, blowing straight through intersections. They get them from making right turns. They pull up to the red light, they slow down, they don't come to a complete stop, and they turn right, and the camera snaps their picture, and they get the expensive citation in the mail. Frank?
Good to know. All right, Eric, thanks very much for that.
Land artillery drills Sunday. Naval drills starting Monday. The regularly scheduled South Korean military activity was getting extra attention as tension was lingering following a North Korean attack on an island nearly 3 weeks ago, which killed 4 people. On land, crews inside K-55 tanks were busy firing shells. At sea, the drills were set to run through Friday at 27 different sites, though reportedly not near the disputed Western Sea border where last month's attack took place. Pyongyang, however, was warning U.S.-South Korean cooperation could bring nuclear war to the region. That didn't stop the latest round of official activity, which saw South Korean and American defense officials holding a day of talks. Those hoping for calm in the region may be pinning their hopes instead on New Mexico Governor Bill Richardson, who's had success in negotiating with North Koreans in the past. He was due to start a new trip to the north Tuesday. Back on Yeonpyeong Island itself, a few of the hardy remaining residents were busy threshing rice Sunday, trying to regain a semblance of normality amid the destruction. But for others, it was just a quick trip back on the ferry to try and retrieve belongings before fleeing back to the mainland, away from the wreckage. Karen Sloan, The Associated.
U.S. Attorney General Eric Holder spoke to the Muslim Advocates, a national legal advocacy and civil rights organization. He told the group that stings are essential to fight the war on terror, like he has in other speeches.
We are bound and determined to try to find those people and to try to stop them in whichever way that we can.
To make his point, he referenced 19-year-old Somali-American Mohammed Osman Mohammed, who allegedly thought a call from his mobile phone in late November would detonate a bomb in the northwestern city of Portland, Oregon. But he instead dialed the number to the Federal Bureau of Investigations in a sting operation. Critics of sting operations say that Mohammed may have been coaxed into the attempted bombing by the Federal Bureau of Investigations, noting that in particular he was only 18 years old when he came to the attention of the Federal Bureau. Members of the Council on American and Islamic Relations say cases such as these border on entrapment.
It should be the FBI's role to stop terror attacks and terror plots. It shouldn't be their role to manufacture terror plots.
National security experts in Washington explain why the Department of Justice believes operations like these are necessary.
The reason they do is because they find it hard to get people in the act of doing some act of terrorism, so they have to spur it on a little bit by providing people with bombs or fake bombs or with incendiary language that they may use.
However, Mohammed's case is simply the latest of several similar sting operations that have led in recent months to charges against Muslims plotting alleged terrorist attacks.
Well, we've seen too many cases where the FBI actually instigates the alleged plot.
In October, the FBI arrested a Pakistani-born Virginia man, Farouk Ahmed, accusing him of attempting to bomb the Washington area metro rail system. While Ahmed allegedly chose the location, the FBI suggested he take part in the plan to bomb metro stations. According to court papers, he had allegedly expressed a desire to kill Americans in Afghanistan, according to the FBI.
When you cross into promoting these kinds of things, that's where we have concerns.
Mohammed and Ahmed are in custody awaiting trial. Colin Campbell, Press TV, Washington.
Well, the allegation here is that this individual was talking with another person on Facebook, and in those conversations was making threats about the metro system. This would be the second allegation of threats against Metro. Just this fall, you'll recall there was another plot uncovered, or alleged plot uncovered about a month or so ago involving Metro stops around the Pentagon. In this particular instance, this individual was Yunus, who was described as a 25-year-old born in Afghanistan, was allegedly communicating with another individual on the internet and talking how he could build a pipe bomb. And he allegedly said that putting the pipe bomb in the third and fifth cars on Metro would have the highest numbers of commuters, and he could place a pipe bomb in these locations and would not be noticed. I am told by a law enforcement source that they found a handgun at this individual's home when they arrested him, but there were no other weapons, there were no explosives. The threat assessment, according to this law enforcement official, is that this was minimal threat involved here.
Hello everyone, welcome to Global Government News. Today is Tuesday, December 14th, 2010, and I am Darko. Welcome to this news bulletin. This is part 2, and I might actually make a third part, so just check back with it. New listeners, please visit my website at www.ggnonline.com. That's ggnonline.com. This first article up that we have is Holder, terrorism stings aren't entrapment. Attorney General Eric Holder is sharply disputing claims that sting operations the Justice Department set up to target suspects in several recent terrorism cases amounted to entrapment. In a speech Friday night to a Muslim civil rights group in Northern California, Holder defended the sting the FBI used to arrest an Oregon man, Muhammad, 19, who was charged last month with attempting to detonate a bomb at a Christmas tree lighting ceremony in Portland. And it goes on here, it says his arrest was the result of a successful undercover operation, a critical and frequently used law enforcement tool that has helped identify and diffuse public safety threats, such as those posed by potential terrorists, drug dealers, and child pornography for decades. Wow, he even throws in drug dealers and child pornographers with people who are being set up in a sting operation. Wow, what a douchebag. According to a text of his prepared remarks released by the Justice Department, these types of operations have been proven to be an essential law enforcement tool in uncovering and preventing potential terrorist attack. Those who characterize the FBI activities in this case as entrapment simply do not have their facts straight or do not have full understanding of the law. So there you go. And they're coercing individuals because it's just like Wayne Madsen stated, the whole threat is a farce, so they have to create threats. And we go here, FBI sting operations halts Muslim plot to blow up military recruiting centers. And it goes on here, and you go down, it says Janet Napolitano, United States Secretary of Homeland Security, noted that this arrest and another in Oregon last month shows that plots and schemes are no longer planned overseas and brought into our country, but rather are being birthed from within. Hussein remains in federal custody. That's the individual who was I guess, arrested after undercover FBI agents supplied Hassan with a fake car bomb. So, see, it's another plant. Next up, bomb plot case may be a harbinger, says A Baltimore man accused of plotting to blow up a military recruiting station was grinning from ear to ear and said Allahu Akbar as he prepared to detonate what he thought was a powerful bomb last week, federal prosecutors said. Antonio Martinez, 21, who recently converted to Islam and changed his name to Mohammed Hussein, is accused of trying to kill members of the military whom he saw a threat to Muslims. The FBI learned of Martinez's intentions through an informant, joined the plot, and supplied him with a fake car bomb that he tried to detonate. Man, dude. This is just like the Christmas Day bomber where the intelligence agencies and the FBI basically gave him this bogus-ass little, what was called, I guess, incendiary, just a small explosive device. Prosecutors portrayed Martinez as a man who was deeply caused to cause much harm as possible and sees himself as a holy warrior, but defense attorney Joseph Balter said his client was incapable of carrying out an attack on his own and failed when he tried to recruit Confederates to join him and was caught in a government sting operation. And if you move down here, in Balter, his attorney said that Martinez, a former Prince George County public school student who did construction work, might have talked about firearms or bombs, but that there was no indication that he had, quote, had an ability to carry out any plan. Quote, clearly on the face of these charges is a very legitimate issue as to whether the government entrapped Mr. Hussein, Balter said. Quote, they induced him to be involved in an act that was clearly the design of the government. All right, so we're going to move on to this next article, and this is actually from the Associated Press, carried by the Army Times. Lawyer says recruit center bomb suspect entrapped. A man accused of plotting to kill military recruiters with a car bomb was a victim of entrapment and was incapable of building or detonating explosives, his attorney said Monday. And this article is about the Stockholm suicide bombing. And I covered this yesterday, but I'm just throwing this in there to tie it in with this new news that we have. Military staffer knew about attacks. The Swedish Armed Forces employee warned an acquaintance to stay clear of an area in central Stockholm on Saturday where several hours later 2 explosions went off in what is being called a terrorist attack. I like how they put that in what is being called a terrorist attack. You can go to this. Swedish police, the bomber is likely to have aid. The man who Saturday killed himself in what is labeled as a terrorist attack. You like how they're putting that? It's labeled as a terrorist attack. It's all alleged. You see, guys? You just got to read to know what the words, how they're wording this, and know that it's all basically government false flag sponsored terrorists. And it says what is labeled as a terrorist attack in central Stockholm was probably not acting alone, says Swedish police, who also confirms his identity with 98%. And it's like, well, who is he working with? Most likely government officials. Stockholm bomber family blame Britain for radicalization. The family of the Stockholm suicide bomber last night blamed Britain for his transformation from an ordinary teenager to an al-Qaeda fanatic. And yeah, basically he was, I guess he was just a normal person in that, and he was being groomed. And finishing up for this part 2 of this video, man killed by police was holding hose nozzle, not gun. Police never told the man to drop the weapon. It says here a man shot to death by 2 police officers was found to have pointed a pistol grip water nozzle at them rather than a weapon, the police chief said Monday at a news conference marked by sobs from the victim's relatives. Police were called 4:40 p.m. Sunday to investigate the report of a man with a gun. And it says in Long Beach, said Sergeant Dina Zapolsky, officers said they fired at Zerby, Douglas Zerby, when he pointed the black metal-tipped object at them in a 2-handed posture that looked like a person would be, they're about to shoot a weapon. So, and if you move on to here, CPS, this is from someone's blog. CPS investigated a reader because he feeds his children organic food, drinks non-fluoridated water, and has a bug-out bag. Police were standing by. So, and it said the reasons why CPS checked out this person is beyond outrageous. There was no abuse in the questions at all. In fact, it was all about non-abuse. So you can go through here and read this, but they basically, yeah, the CPS government basically raided them over this because they thought that they were being malnutrition, that they weren't getting any water at all because they weren't drinking the tap water. So, Plymouth movie theater confiscates Tollard's formula. I just stumbled upon this article. No outside food or drink. Sippy cups are no exception. That's the explanation Carrie Brewer got when an attendant confiscated her 22-month-old child's sippy cup while watching the movie Tangled at the Showland Cinema in Plymouth. So can't have toddlers baby formula anymore in the movie theater. So Indian diplomat detained in the U.S. for refusing to remove turban in new airport security gaffe. So, and this is the second diplomat from India that's been hassled at the airport. Police gunman killed self at Florida school meeting. Authorities say he exchanged shots with security guard before killing himself. And Intel's new Sandy Bridge microprocessor will now have a remote control shutdown kill switch included. It's GGN, and I'm Darko. Thank you.